On this hunt, we decided to go to the Central Flyway, and it was just the 4 members of our crew. So it was Matt and I, plus Dane Williams, our photographer, and Ryan Kendall, the cinematographer. Missed him.
That is a single.
Are you kidding?
That's a single goose.
That is not a bird bet bird.
That's a clean miss.
No way.
Anticipation was high. It was our first time back to this region this season, and we had a little bit of a tip, and we knew the birds had showed up. Yeah, who doesn't love the Central Flyway, right?
Especially if you're a dry field goose hunter, there's nowhere better in the country.
What's really unique about this area is that they have beet shares and they grow beets. The beets move every year, and every year, if there's a beet field, it is going to have a goose feed in it at some point in the season.
Especially late.
Especially late in the season.
What happens is these beets, they get left behind when the spade comes through, digs them up. A bunch of these get left behind. This one's not eaten yet. And what these birds do is they get in here and they eat it like an apple core. Most of the time, we will do a beet hunt in the afternoon, mostly because of the cold. I think it's harder to get to these beets when the ground's frozen, but today we got a little bit of frost. It's not too bad. I think they're gonna be back in here probably first thing, and very excited to be hunting beets. Beets are my favorite crop to hunt, and we're in them.
In this particular hunt, we decided to put out some snow geese to get some visibility in the field, because one problem with beets, although they are a mega food source and the birds absolutely love them, one problem with it is your decoys blend into the dirt, and we're hunting an edge and they want to be in the middle. So we needed to get some visibility. So we decided to put out 6 snows because we needed to pull them a half mile all the way across this field to get to us for the best hide. And
not only that, we had to pull them over a road and some power lines.
So we decided to go with some snow geese. We do that from time to time just to get the visibility. That is one thing really unique to hunting beets.
Little geese.
A little tall.
Oh, straight out. Shoot him. Double tapped him. Well, I just had to start the morning. Lad. How far should I leave, Brady? Okay. There you go, there you go. Eat him. Eat him. That's it. Yeah. I'm gonna have one shaking just a little bit.
Hell yeah. All right, here you go.
Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. I got one, boys! Oh!
I've been watching and I figured out why you're having troubles with calling.
Okay.
You're puffing your cheeks out.
Okay.
So you're doing this. All right? Okay. You gotta keep your cheeks in and focus on this. Hear the difference there?
Yep.
gonna need to make a decoy change. This is not working.
So we got there and we had some areas we wanted to check out. Previous permission, called some guys and scouted a few different fields, found some birds, decided how we were gonna hunt. But what we didn't anticipate, and although this keeps biting us in the ass, is a field full of lessers. And that is not our forte. It is not what we are great at. We are not set up properly to be hunting 15,000 lessers.
So the birds that we hunt here at home are generally bigger geese. So when we're saying lessers, it's just another subspecies of a Canada goose. It's a smaller bird, but they tend to travel in way, way, way bigger flocks.
The number one challenge that you have hunting lessers is because they fly in such big groups and they circle a lot. They rarely come right in. Because they're circling, as the big geese are coming, they just join the carousel. And now it's hard to pull them off of it because the little geese aren't loving it, but the big geese do, but they're just following the leader.
Yep. And so we rolled out there and we're set up to hunt big geese with big goose decoys, big goose calls, big goose tactics.
Got a couple.
Right. Hold. Hold. Heel. Heel. Back. I just think if we're gonna shoot, Dana, we'll get a better shot. But I do think we should shoot.
We're kind of in a position where we should watch. What do you think?
Well, we need to make an executive decision because there's two trains of thought. One, we shoot them up and get out of here, and then we can absolutely run this back. If we burn 5,000 geese.
You make the call.
You know, we had another challenge that day.
This was a real challenge.
We had some great banter and contention between Matt and I on this hunt. The field had so many geese in it, and we'd hunted before, that our tactic was to go in, set the decoy spread, hunt that hunt, and when we were done, would be to return to the same field and hunt it again the second day. That is something we rarely ever do. However, every time we're in this area, Matt wants to look for quills, right? Kind of trophy hunting, and we call it shopping. And so I was calling the shot to shoot the geese, and Matt was wanting us to slow down and shop the geese because the conditions were perfect for it.
I mean, it was the most perfect conditions for shopping that you've ever seen. They were circling at 30 yards right here in front of the blind like this, and they were just spinning because the lessers were making them spin, so they'd never land.
Getting the binos out to see if we can find quills or bands. But again, I think I was thinking the whole time about day two, and Matt was a little enamored by the moment, and so there was a bit of blind contention on calling the shot.
Man, I should have pulled up and shot that. The f are you thinking, Matt?
You know, he was frustrated, I was frustrated because we weren't doing either one of them very well. We were like half-assing both.
Shoot him. Good. So there wasn't a right and wrong. There was just a slight deviation from the plan. When we drove into that field in the morning, the temperature was cold enough that it was basically kind of top frozen, but the field was wet dirt. This ground makes me nervous.
This ground makes me nervous too.
And I remember through that hunt that when the hunt was over and I went to go get the truck, there was a fairly good chance we were gonna get stuck in the field.
Day two, we had a wind switch and a front push through, and now all of a sudden the wind's in our face. So we're stuck with the booby trap because we're in the same spot. The decoy spread is already set. And so we just moved the decoys out so they had a pocket to get in front of us and kind of loop around to our side from right to left.
Okay, so the plan is shoot them.
Yep.
Shoot them. Shoot him, buddy.
There are experiences in waterfowl hunting that really get me excited. Those experiences when you have birds working belly up, spinning on top of you, and you know that there's like an opportunity to see something really unique and rare, that gets my heart going even right now. Normally I can pull the shot off, but like, oh man, I just love that moment.
Missed him. I barely even loaded my gun. I didn't even see
If
the
you
bird.
barely loaded it, you
I didn't even see the bird until he was late. So at the start of the season, we had come up with this harebrained idea between me and Matt and Dane and Ryan that there was going to be a bet, and if you missed a bird, you got a point. And whoever hit 10 points was out of the bet, and whoever was the last man standing wins.
Single.
That is not a single.
That is a single.
Are you kidding?
That's a single
They
goose.
came in as a pair and one peeled out.
Therefore, he's a single goose.
No.
That is a miss.
That is not a bird bet bird.
That is a clean miss.
No way. No way.
That is
I'm not going for it.
It was a single.
It was not
a single, and you missed him, and we called bird bet.
No, we called bird bet on the bird that left.
Well, leading up to this hunt, there had been some birds that were questionable on if it should count against me. Okay? So this had happened a couple times, weird situations, right? Like weird things. So we had ran the dog, picked up some birds. The second the dog's like coming back, they're like, here comes one, Brady, you're up. And so I'm like scrambling to get this goose from the dog, get the goose, make sure the goose is dead, make sure it's in the correct pile behind the blind. Well, it had come in, and turns out it was actually a pair coming in, and then they had kind of split, and there was a single, but like I literally did not have time to even like get my shit together and attempt to shoot this goose. So then ensues the debate between Dane and I. Dane's fired up, he's ready to go to war over this. It gets to the point where I told Dane, I remember something I said along the lines of, well, next time we hunt, you better bring a pair of tennis shoes. And he said, why is that? And I said, because my dog is never picking up your geese again. And then Dane's up, and Dane shoots a goose. And the goose lands, and I don't send my dog. And I'm like, yeah, good luck, bud. And the goose is out there about 50 yards, and so Dane, he's just fired up at this point. So he just starts marching out there in classic Dane fashion. He's gonna go pick up his own damn goose. He did start running to the goose at the end because he knew the dog was coming. So it was a funny moment, a lot of banter.
Man, he was fired up.
Oh, he was wound up.
Which you were in the wrong on one of them for sure, but you talked your way out of it.
Well, I'm only wrong if the judges say I was wrong and the judge said I was right. So Dane's like, I'm gonna get
my interview.
When's my interview? You can't do it, it's all bad. When the hunt ended and we did drive in and get the boys and get the stuff out of there, it ended up being okay and we got out of there. But it was this little stressor in the back of our minds the whole time. But in the end, it came together. Phenomenal hunt. Got to do a lot of calling. Got to watch a lot of birds, and it was just it was awesome success. On day 3 of this hunting trip, it was a field that Matt and I had hunted years ago, a few years ago, It's a field that the landowner doesn't necessarily generally allow hunting on at all. However, he was kind enough to allow us onto his ranch to go hunt this cornfield that we found that was absolutely stacked with birds.
Like fence to fence.
Like, I don't know how many there were, but I'm telling you, there was like 20,000 plus. Anticipation's through the roof, right? We're like, holy smokes, boys, we're gonna get them tomorrow. This is gonna be so awesome.
Bird. Let's get to moving. Woo!
So we get in the field that morning, we're starting to get set up, and all of a sudden, we had a bit of a curveball.
Yeah, and we had another trailer pull into the field.
Setting up the blind, just realized that we got another crew of hunters that pulled into the field. They're on the far west end, which we did talk about setting up there.
It's always a bit of a gutting feeling, right? Like, we play well with others, and they were far enough away that we thought, you know, it's still gonna be okay. They're gonna shoot their birds, we're gonna shoot our birds. But it still puts a little pit in your stomach, like, dang it. And the night before, when I had talked to the farmer to gain permission, he did not let us know that he had given somebody else permission as well.
Yeah.
So this was news to us when we get out into the field, and this happens sometimes.
It does.
But we're out there and we're setting up, we're like, oh man, this is gonna be so good. And here comes another truck. The truth is, I don't mean this to sound arrogant, we'll see how good they are.
That's really what it comes down to.
Like, if they're really good goose hunters, then it could hurt.
If they came out here and they were cool, we'd probably be like, we'd talk through it.
Yeah.
Maybe have them hunt with us.
It's just added influence in the field, right? And when you have somebody else calling, you have another hide, you have another decoy spread, all that stuff in the same field, and although it's a big field, they still have the ability to pull and push birds in and out. So, like, it's no doubt gonna change the outcome of the hunt anytime you have somebody set up in the field with you that doesn't end up joining you.
Mm-hmm.
Little friendly competition, you know?
Oh, I know how it's gonna go.
In an interesting turn of events, our competition decided to pull out. Literally. They didn't even come talk or anything. I think they just kind of saw us and made the decision that today is not the day. We have about 1,000 geese coming to this field, so I think it's gonna be good. We ran a long line out this side for visibility today, and you know, that could, if the wind doesn't pick up, it could screw us. It's a little bit of trial and error. In the dark, it's always hard to tell, but I think it looks pretty good. Talk to me today. We trying to shoot 20 and get out?
Yeah.
Dane, you ready? Very first thing that we're gonna do before we move decoys is get this blind brushed a little bit better. How's your side looking? Good?
I think we're good.
You need more for lead or no?
No, lead's good.
Group straight out front. Long line. Probably. Sure. That one. Nice.
I think we push the decoys out.
But yeah, push them out, create a long line, try to get them over the top of them. I think that's probably what we have to do.
No, it ended up being a really hard hunt that day. We did shoot some birds. We did not shoot our limit. What would happen is they were kind of swinging over the field to our right down the pivot line. And so while that's happening, they're also out on the far left end, kind of swinging out around where I'm at. And it's just kind of like, God, what do we do?
Yeah, and the birds that would spill out would end up going and landing in a neighboring field. And then as that field started to build, we just had no chance. I mean, there was really no chance in competing against that. At the end of the day, I think we moved decoys 15 times and we shot like 5 birds or something. It was a really challenging hunt at the end of that trip.
Yeah. You know, the takeaway, the learning there, when you scout a field at night and you only see it at night, you don't know the exact time of day those birds are going to get in there. So we had to wait longer.
It was also a really still morning, no wind,
Sun,
no wind, frost, which is a recipe for disaster most of the time. It's hard. I think there was a lot of factors going on in that hunt. It's hard to decipher one specific thing. All we can do is move the decoys around, move them out, try to get them to finish, and take it for what it is.
It was one of those hunts that was fine, but it's also one of those ones that makes the good ones great.
Yes, no doubt. Overall, it was just awesome to get in the truck with just the Flying V team and head to a spot that we just loved so much. The birds were there. We had a ton of fun with it. Excited to go back. We need to do that more often, though.
It was
just put the 4 of us in the truck and just go.
I completely agree, and it came at the right time of year. It was kind of this mid-season regroup, rehuddle. It was just really good to spend a few days together and just kind of realign and push forward going into the last, 50 plus days of the season.